What's going on, guys? Matt in the hat. Matt Johnson Real Estate, powered by Keller Williams Diamond Partners. You are tuned in to the hot list. I come to you guys Monday through Friday around 12 o'clock Central Standard Time, and we talk about a property that is new to the market. Maybe it's been on the market a little bit and had a recent price reduction, or there is something unique or special that I would like to share with you guys. I want you guys to know about the property. I also answer a question of the day that is submitted by you, the viewers. For those that don't know, you can submit questions to me. You can either call me directly or text me directly. My phone number is listed, or you can send me a message through Facebook. Also, I would like to add, for those that are not aware, the hot list is now available for download in iTunes. So make sure you head over to iTunes and just type in hot list. You will see the awesome thumbnail with my pretty little mug on it. And click on that, like, subscribe. While you're there, help me out. Leave me a review. Let me know what you guys like about the show, what you guys have learned about it. And if there's something that I haven't talked about, or that you don't think I'm doing well, leave the feedback. Let me know. I can only get better if you all let me know what you're thinking. So this week and today, we've kind of talked about some houses that have been newer to the market, or maybe they've had a recent price reduction. This one today is a new listing, just came on recently. The address is 2036 Prairie LN. This is right here in Emporia. It is a 3-bed, 3.5-bath house. Does have an attached 2-car garage, around 1,810 square foot finished space, listed at $245,000, courtesy of EC Real Estate. So why did I choose this one? Just because it was new? No, not because it was new. Because it's got a lot going for it. And when you click on the link in the description to take you to my website so you can see the pictures, you'll understand why. This sits on a half acre in town. It's on a cul-de-sac, so that's awesome right off the bat, because you're going to have fewer traffic going down your street. And we live on a cul-de-sac, and it was just absolutely amazing living on a cul-de-sac, because the kids learn to ride their bikes there. People aren't just flying down the street hauling ass to get somewhere. So it is absolutely awesome. This house has a Trex deck, patio, got a shed, has a combination of hardwood and carpet throughout the house. Does have some updated Anderson windows, not one, but 2 fireplaces, main floor laundry. I like that. And it's got an island in the kitchen with a double oven. How cool is that? And even cooler than that kitchen island, the pantry is a custom pull-out style pantry. It is just absolutely beautiful. You guys got to make sure you check that out. It is very, very cool. We also have a sponsor of the week this week. Sponsor of this week is Flint Hills Lanes. For some of you that may not know, they are open for business, been open. One of the first ones that was able to open back up, because they were allowed to keep people separated, because they can do every other lane. They are going above and beyond for not only their safety, their employees' safety, but your safety as the customer as well. So they take time out to clean, sanitize the lanes, the bowling balls, all the stations, tables, chairs. They go above and beyond, do absolutely everything they possibly can, and they've teamed up with the Lyon County Boosters and having an event. They're having bowling for businesses this Saturday, June 27th. There are 5 different session times, so make sure you get a hold of them, or you can reach out to myself as well, and I will point you in the right direction. Now we get to the question of the day. And I would guess, because of what we talked about yesterday with some sewer lines, is what brought this question on. So the question of the day is, do I have to do anything specific to my garbage disposal to keep it maintained, or to extend the life of it? Or do you have any garbage disposal tips? So we talked about slow drains, potentially backing up, sewer lines yesterday. One of the main areas that is overlooked until it backs up is going to be your garbage disposal. There's so much modernization, I can't even say the word, right now with technology. It's absolutely crazy. Don't believe me? We got microwaves that can talk to your home assistant, whether that's Apple, Google, Alexa, whatever you have. Fridges, refrigerators that can remind you to pick up milk when you run out. How cool is that? Well, see, I know you guys can't hear it, but I just said her name and she's chiming in right now. So while other appliances have been updated, the garbage disposals are often overlooked and forgot about. Before I go into too much more, I do want to throw out a little safety tip and reminder here. These should not be taken lightly, because these represent potential disaster. Keep in mind, disposal can grind up ice, hard objects, and they can grind up bone, like what's in your hands. So what if they can grind up bone? What do you think is going to happen to your hand or your fingers? You stick it in there without taking some precautions. So, if it's something that you need to get out, use some tongs, unplug it if you can, so you don't seriously damage the machine, seriously damage your hand. Moving on to caring for the disposal. So to answer the question, yes, there are some things that you can do for and to your garbage disposal to keep it running and keep it going. So now that I kind of freaked y'all out about losing your digits, does this deserve to be maintained? Well, yeah, it absolutely does, because it needs to be functioning and running properly, just like your microwave, just like your fridge, just like any other kitchen appliance. Most accidents that happen with the disposals are a result of either lack of care or improper use. I remember Chase discovered the magic little button that makes the garbage disposal work, and he would throw something down there, hit that button, and I think we're on our third or fourth garbage disposal. It was like when he discovered that magical little silver handle on the back of the toilet. All kinds of things disappeared. So here are 5 tips for garbage disposal maintenance and to keep it running in shape. Number 1, clean your disposal, because a clean disposal is a happy disposal. When it runs, or when you're running it, add a little dish soap into the disposal, and then run some cold water on there. And why cold water? We'll get into that shortly. This helps keep that smell of the ground up food from coming back up, and it helps to flush the remaining amount of food down the drain. You can also, Pinterest tip here, you can also drop citrus peels. Like I will drop some orange peels down the drain, grind those things up. Smells a whole lot better than when it did before. Number 2, only put food down your garbage disposal. Sounds silly, right? Well, only biodegradable items should be going in your disposal to begin with. So while I say only food, not every food can go down there. Need an example? Fats. So like that, the big thick fats can clog up, or grease from cooking up some hamburger, because those fats clog the disposal faster than anything. Other examples, you've got pasta, you've got rice, any other food that really expands is going to cause a very similar problem to either harming the disposal or clogging it, and then you got to call a plumber. Number 3 is grind hard things to keep those blades sharp. Now, preferably not your hand. You want to keep them digits, right? So throw some ice cubes down there, throw some bones down there. Nothing crazy, but by doing that and letting it run with some cold water, that's really going to sharpen those blades and keep them in as good a shape as possible. Also with this, as far as when you grind things up, do not throw fibrous foods down there like celery. Those fibers are going to get tangled in the blades and around the moving parts, and it's going to make it work harder and wear out a lot faster. Number 4, I've kind of prefaced this in the first one, but always use cold water. Sounds like the opposite of what you should do, right? Well, the reason you should use cold water as opposed to hot water, I just learned this within probably the last few months, because hot water is going to melt those fats down inside the disposal, and that's going to make your disposal work that much harder to get rid of those. Where if you use cold water, that's going to help keep those fats solidified, so it's going to be chopped up and broken down a lot better by those blades, and then just carried on away. So a little fat is going to be okay to put down the drain. Just make sure you flush it, wash it with some cold water. But pouring fats down the drain is just asking for trouble. I mentioned, browning up some hamburger, throwing that fat down the disposal. That is a sure way to increase or keep job security for plumbers. So that I would recommend avoiding that. Just a quick recap before we move on to number 5. So 5 tips for tips and tricks for cleaning your garbage disposal, keeping it running. Number 1, clean your disposal. Number 2, only put food down in there, but not all food, just biodegradable food. Kind of avoid those fats. Number 3, you want to grind hard items to keep those blades sharp. Number 4, make sure you're using cold water, not hot water, to flush and wash all that out. And finally, number 5, avoid harsh chemicals. Now, while a degreaser might seem like a good idea and it will clean your disposal, that as well as other harsh chemicals you really want to avoid, because they're going to put a wear on the rubber and the plastic items and parts that are in the disposal. Like drain cleaner, for example, like Drano, those are extremely hard on disposals because they'll eat at the rubber and those plastics. So instead of using something like that, I would recommend a plunger, or for those that don't know, there is typically some type of screw or bolt on the bottom side of the disposal. Mine, for example, is a hex head on the bottom. So all I got to do is just get an Allen wrench, pop it in there, and just crank it and until it breaks that jam loose. If you are not able to get that jam loose, make sure you call a plumber. They deal with this all the time. I guarantee it. Call them. They can get you set up, get you fixed up. So I hope that answers the question. If you guys have any other questions, please feel free to reach out to me, whether it's through Facebook or my phone number is listed in here. Feel free to call me or text me. So thank you guys for watching Matt in the Hat. And on today's episode of The Hot List, I do this because your experience matters and should be trusted with a veteran. Y'all have an awesome, awesome day, and I'll see you tomorrow.